Good morning, folks. God bless. Sunday, March the 9th. Time change. Praying everyone is doing well. Well, with the Trump administration in office, they're putting their sights on the Department of Education. Now, this conversation has been had before. Charter schools, though they are out there, they're not out there in mass. The public school system, as we know it, still has control over that. Unfortunately, for the public school system, known as the Board of Education, their grades have come in and it's a F. They have failed, and they failed our kids. So Trump, and again, it's not only Trump, this conversation's been going on for a while, wants to replace it with what's called charter schools. And of course, the Department of Education and the teachers union have been up at arms. But now it's serious. And when I went to school, it was different. I believe that my school was good. I went to a public school, PS 19, Williamsburg, in Brooklyn, New York. And I came out okay. I read well, I did math well, and everybody else that I did also. I mean, some, they had a little bit of issue, but they could do math. I know that. And if we look at the Baltimore school system, I heard things that at first you don't believe is true. You're like, that can't be true. But it is. It's crazy. In Baltimore, we're looking at grades like junior high school and high school. 4th, 5th, 6th graders like that. They had 20 schools, 20 schools that not one student, not one, think about that, 20 schools, not one student could do math or read to the grade level that they were at. 20 schools, not one. Then you had or have another 20 to 22 or 25 schools that only one or two students could read to their grade level or do math. One or two. So you're talking about over 40 schools, right? Probably 35 kids could read and do math up to the grade that they're supposed to. That is a disaster. The teachers union, let me tell you, junior high school 50 was a different animal. It wasn't too bad, but it was a totally different animal. I had a social studies teacher that literally slept throughout the whole classroom. Throughout the whole class. Straight up. Mr. I'm going to leave his name out. Yeah. So I could see it, But it's those teachers and the teachers union. The reason why they fight so hard and all that is because seniority. It's almost impossible to fire one of those teachers, yo. Almost impossible. I've heard cases that you're like, how is that teacher still there, yo? Yeah, yeah. And I'm thinking, if you if you're a good teacher, yo, if you're a good teacher, you'll be a good teacher anywhere. You'll be a good teacher anywhere. But it's that seniority thing, knowing I can't not get fired even though I'm sleeping through the entire class period. That's why. Then America knows no bounds, yo. I heard about this. I think it's been a while back now. Maybe 10 years ago or so. I can't remember when it was. Again, a while back. When all of this started happening and the results of these test scores started coming out, a couple of years later or so, they came out with this brainstorm of an idea, which was instead of, all right, working with them kids, them schools, to bring up the test scores, they were like, you know what we do? Let's just lower the test score. And what's worse, let's just lower it for them. A disservice. A disservice. I personally would be insulted if I went into a classroom and they were giving out a test and I found out that if I got a 60, that I passed when the failing grade was 65, I'd be hot. I'd be like, I don't want no special treatment. Because if I can't pass, I'm going to work harder till I do. I don't want to get dumbed down. We don't want our children to get dumbed down. And they don't want to be dumbed down. So they lowered the score. I remember when I heard that, I was like, no, they're not doing that, are they? Yeah. I was like, that is so... I know personally he must be 18 now, 19. And I would bet $100. No, let's forget about the betting. If I go up to that young man and I said, how much is 12 plus 17? I'll give you 30 seconds. Can't do it. Can't do it. Can't do it. Now, I had a school teacher named Miss Aquila. I think Miss Aquila, 5th grade teacher. I liked Miss Aquila, one of my best teachers all time. She was gorgeous too. She played, she was into tennis. I remember she wrote on my book, good luck and hope to see you X amount of years to play a match. Yeah, Miss Aquila. Anyway, she had this thing every day for math class. She would give us this sheet, a worksheet. It had 45 math questions. They were simple. The trick was the timing. The timing. You only had X amount of time. And I remember my first day in class, I got in kind of, school had been in probably for about 2 months. And I walked in. That's where I met my best friend, who Well, we actually met years later and we didn't know it. But anywho, I remember that very same day, I walked into class. You know how it is. You're a new kid in class. She sits me down. And right there, she said, we're in the middle of math. And she puts this paper down. She gets up there. She explains how it's done. I unfortunately got it wrong. It was something about how you wrote the answers. Anyway, I was supposed to go from top to bottom, and I went from left to right. I finished. I think I was probably the second one to be done. And I put my pencil down. And I remember she just looked at me like, okay. So she came by and she looked at my sheet and she was like, this is wrong, that's wrong, that's wrong. And then she stopped and she realized what I had did wrong. So she figured it out. And she put, this answer goes to this question like that. Because she could tell what I did. I got two wrong. And she looked down at me and she said, good job, Raul, good job. The next day, it was a wrap. After that, I could do that in my sleep. Anyway, that's how I developed the ability to do math off the top of my head as quickly as I once did. So yeah, that was a good thing. And again, we had this young man I'm talking about. He was younger back when this incident happened. We were hanging out. His cousin, older cousin, because he was younger. He might have been 12, probably. I asked him, hey, how much is so? Something came up and he couldn't answer it. And his cousin, who was a female, she was hot. She was like, what do you mean? Answer that question. Oh boy got mad. Oh boy got mad. Yeah. Yeah. But I used to tell them, hey, if you don't learn that, people can cheat you out of your money, yo. You know? That's what they're gonna do to you. So, and of course that has a lot to do with school. My mom didn't speak a lick of English. She's better now. She's 85. Understood a lot of it, right? The thing about us is that when we came home, we did our homework. We never had to. At least me. I should speak about me, my sister right above me, and my three younger sisters before me. Because everybody else, they're older, so, just caught in that time gap. And they didn't have to, when we came into the house, we did our homework and we did well in the school. It's just, that's what we did. I mean, it's cold in the winter outside. You don't start hanging out like that till when you're 15, 16. At least you shouldn't, and even then, that's too early. But, yeah. And we have to do something. There is no need for that. That goes again. We could blame it on the Board of Education, and sure, there's a lot to blame there. But ultimately, that's home life. There's something wrong at home. Something wrong at home. Anyway, guys, you have yourself a wonderful day, and God bless. And let's see what happens with this whole Board of Education thing. Like I said, if you're a good teacher, why trip? I mean, I get it, the seniority thing, but that's any job that you have, any job that exists, that it becomes almost impossible to get fired, there are going to be some that are going to lack on the job. It's just the human nature. Human nature. That's what it's called. Human nature. Again, guys, God bless. Be safe.